Hello, so let's call this video Drama with the Gillett Phonograph on a Sunday morning. So, you know that Gillett made a lot of errors on the blueprints and on the description of how to build it. And when you see the correspondence between the builders and Gillett, you can sort of make a prophecy where you're going to find the problems. One of the big topics was the length of the supporting column. The supporting column, for your reference, is this part here. So Gillett, in the initial blueprints, he put that it should be 3 3/4 of an inch long instead of 3 1/4. With this dimension, the problem was the adjusting stops on the spectacle came to the extreme end of the square tube of the guide rod. Those are these screws. In the original blueprints, these screws are so close to the spectacle that even you have a notch here. So if you put it like this, the screw should be here and they should be barely touching the inside part of this square tube. This square tube, by the way, is also an afterthought, a last-minute change in the blueprints. So that's why I did these pieces a little bit longer. I explained it on a previous video. Let's continue. So he says that the column rests on the cylinder. We're going to discuss also cylinder, because some readers or builders talk about the cylinder instead of the mandrel. But anyway, the column rests on the cylinder. Here you see the column is not resting on the cylinder. You have a gap here because I made it shorter. Okay, and also he say the turning tool is also too close. Here is not only too close, it's too far away. You see, even at its maximum, I cannot touch the cylinder. Let's investigate why. Because here you see that the stylus is touching the cylinder, but I cannot touch the cylinder with the shaver. Okay, and also as Gillett says, the stylus is radial with the cylinder, with the mandrel. So he says, okay, please shorten the column to 3 1/4, and then the screw will rest approximately on the center of the square tube. No, Mr. Gillett, unless you length this piece, they will never rest here. There's another builder that says something similar. I find some difficulty with the dimension of the spectacle frame supporting column. You send the correction, and now making the supporting column 3 1/4, as you stated, brings the turning tool and a stylus exactly in contact with the cylinder. If it's exactly in contact with the cylinder, then everything is okay. But he said that it's not, because he says that does not make it any better. Here the problem is that he's not saying cylinder. Instead of cylinder, he should say mandrel. Okay? Because this was too short, so the stylus and the shaver were touching the mandrel. And Gillett says something similar. He says that he suggests not to lengthen too much this screw, because then the stylus will work at an angle. There's another one. He said that he have also cut 1/2 of an inch from the top, but the spectacle frame is now too close of the cylinder, and the adjusting screws come in on the inside edge of the guide rod. Again, this is too far inside, and this is too close. because he's not able to touch with the shaver the cylinder. And so far, so there's also one here that says the having noted the correction. Now the cutting edge of the automatic turning tool rests upon the brass mandrel. Okay, this one I know what he did. Instead of cutting on the top, he cut it on the bottom. But this one gave me a hint of where's the problem. So where's the problem? As you can see, here Gillett says that the dimension should be 2 1/8 and 1/8 of an inch between the center of the tube and the center of the shaver. And that's what I did. Let's turn this on, 2 1/8 and 1/8. And as you can see, is that correct dimension. So the stylus is touching, but not the shaver. Whatever I do, it will never touch. And this shaver should touch approximately at 45-degree angle. Why I'm saying that? Because on the other option of the shaver, that is by the side of the recording stylus, you see it here, the shaver makes an angle of approximately 45 degrees. So what can I do here? Well, the problem here is that Gillett, instead of putting this dimension to 2 1/8, should have put something like 1 3/4. So by lowering this and making it shorter, the blade, it will come to the correct angle and to the correct distance. What I'm going to make here, I don't know if I'm going to modify slightly this ring to allow it to move a little bit more and shorten a little bit the blade so it comes to the correct angle, or if I'm going to shorten the blade and make all this go down by some millimeters or an eighth of an inch or something like that. Okay, maybe a quarter of an inch should be correct. And that's it. It's what I have now, and this is why I'm only making one before turning in the production of the other 9 to discover all the errors. And by the way, another thing, people ask me what I have in this cup. It's nothing. It's not a beverage. It's just my water. When I temper in the metal, I need some water to temper them. So this is what I use. So I fill it with water. It's just water, rusty water. Okay, so don't worry about me. I will never drink this. Okay, guys, have a nice weekend. Bye.